Mariam, Yoanna. Thank you for joining me today. It's going to be a pleasure to talk with you about the work you've been doing, your participation in the R27 commissions. I thought we could start with the work that you are actually doing. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the letter to Ukrainians so that we can share it with our audience.
Hello, Sofia. Very nice to meet you, see you, and thank you for the invitation for us today. We are working now together with Mariam on a song that we hope will be our message to the Ukrainian nation. We've been working on this song for the first few months of the full-scale war in Ukraine that started in February this year. Yeah, like the song is full of emotions that were together with all of us during the first few months of this tragedy that the Ukrainian nation was going through and is still going through.
Yes, we are doing this song because we want to give hope ourselves and all Ukrainians and all people in the world that we want that all people live in peace. With this song, I want to inspire people with faith and hope for a better future, that justice will be on their land, that all bad things will remain in the past and a happy future awaits them, that all peoples will live in peace.
You know, it's really hard now to remember all these emotions that were together with us when this terrible thing started to happen in Ukraine. I think we all wanted to do something very much at that point. I believe that in all conflicts, emotions are a really crucial thing. Emotions that are together with the normal people who are suffering from the violent conflicts the most. With our song, we wanted to express our solidarity with all the people that are suffering in this war. We wrote this song not really thinking about the big political scenes, but about the poorest, the smallest, all the ones that are the most vulnerable and suffer in this war the most. So we wanted to show our solidarity and show the people in Ukraine that they are not alone, because I think in such situations it's very important when you are in like a very big grief, that you feel that there is someone who is feeling for you and thinking about you and is supporting for you. I think it's very important for every human being. So that was our thought behind this song.
So how do you hope that the audience, the Ukrainian people, experiences the letters to Ukrainians?
Of course, Mariam is much more closer to the Ukrainians because she's been born in Georgia and she's a Georgian, but she's been brought up in Ukraine and she's been living there for nearly all her life. Probably we both have a bit different perspectives, but yeah, they are like in a way very same. I don't have any family in Ukraine. Of course, I have many friends there. I would really be very happy if this song made happier or calmer or more peaceful one person in Ukraine. I would be really happy that this song somehow makes something good in the heart for at least one person. Of course, I would be even more happy if it would be more people, but I care like about every single listener.
And this song is like an anthem and a prayer. And when I write it and when I read it, I understand that I feel better after reading this song. And I think that all Ukrainian people who can read this text or hear it, they will feel that feel I.
Mariam, you're originally from Georgia and we're living in Ukraine. And Yoanna, you were living in Poland. So how did you two meet?
because of situation in Georgia, because of the war in Abkhazia, we moved to Ukraine. And when the full-scale war began, I was in Battonya, and Yoanna was in Battonya to learn about the protests against the war. And despite the rain and cold, I went there. There on the central square of Battonya, Georgian activists expressed their support for Ukraine, and Yoanna gave her speech. I really liked her performance. She spoke with tears in her eyes, and I wanted to get to know her better. I had the impression that she understood my pain. And we went home together, we talked a lot, exchanged contacts, and after that we are always in touch. We often talked about how we can help Ukraine if we are far from it. And Yoanna decided to write a song, to make song. And I have never written poems before it, but then it was a very sad day. I cried because of bad news, and I wrote this text. I sent it to Yoanna. She asked how I did it, because I am a doctor and by education, and I had not written before. After Georgia, I went to Hungary in Budapest. I want to be closer to Ukraine and for my family. From there, I went to volunteer in Lviv. I collected medicine for different hospitals in Ukraine in March this year. And then I was in Portugal for a month, and I missed Ukraine, my family, my friends, because all of them were in Ukraine. And I was very worried. And when I told Yoanna about my depressed mood and homesickness, she advised me to write a song about home. And therefore, there is already a poem about home. And I want to say one little history about me and Yoanna. Once we were walking home with Yoanna after a protest against the war in Ukraine, and she asked if I knew songs from my region. I am from west side of Georgia, and we have our language dialect, Megrelian dialect. At the age near 15, I went on Sunday school in Kiev, where we sang folk songs on Georgian, on Megrelian language, because all my life I live only in Ukraine. I remembered several of them. It was raining, and we sang the song Ashochela. It's the name of Megrelian song. And now it all seems like a scene from a movie, because girl who has lived all her life in Ukraine, and the girl from Poland walking under an umbrella in Batumi and singing all folk songs from Megrelian region.
Yeah, I really love Megrelian songs. So when I learned that Mariam is from San Megrelo, of course, first idea was to offer singing a song. Maybe we can sing this song a bit. Let's try.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It indeed, I can imagine it was the scene of a movie.
Yeah, and it was only second day after we met. So I think on Saturday we met. It was the third day of the full war. Yeah, after singing this song, I felt I know Mariam much better.
Yes, and this song is not in Georgian language. It is on Megrelian language, and it was sung by peasant tired from work, and it's why it is very sad and melodious music.
It's beautiful. I can imagine, I guess this is the power of art as well, right? That you were just saying, Yoanna, that you felt like you knew Mariam much better after you sang together. I find that music or art in general often has this power of bringing us closer to our fellow humans that share with us values or experiences in a way that language cannot sometimes by itself. So this is the first time that you're writing, Mariam. But for you, Yoanna, does this work that you're doing together with Mariam, does it differ from previous works that you've done before?
Completely. In every aspect, it's a completely different thing for me, and it opened also new ways of expression and new ways of thinking. It's my first song that I'm writing, I don't know, since 15 years ago, because I was I was composing the most before I could write. So like until 6 or 7 years old, I was writing lots of notes without knowing what I'm writing. Then I was writing a bit as a teenager. But once I enrolled into already like university, and then I was studying at conservatory in Georgia, and I was always surrounded by so many beautiful songs that I never really felt a need to write anything, because there was so much to explore and so much to write and sing and play that somehow I was always interested in other people's music. And at this point I didn't have the ready-made song for this occasion, so the only way was to write it from scratch. Also, the way that I invented how to write this song, it was a very long process. I must admit it took us a few months to write this song, because first, it's not easy to write a song to lyrics in a language that you never really learned. So first, I remember the moment when Mariam sent me this text. Actually, I didn't ask her to write whole lyrics of a song, because I knew that she's like, I didn't know that she can write. So I asked her, I was actually thinking about writing a hip hop song because I was so angry and all my emotions were like really, I don't know, at the ceiling. I never did any hip hop, but I felt it's the only style I can express myself. And I asked Mariam to write like a few lines. So then she really surprised me with this beautiful poem, and immediately I decided that I will write music to this poem. I skipped my idea of my song. Then I had to understand the lyrics, the rhythm of the text, and so on. I started writing this song by improvisation. So I was singing the lines. Sometimes one verse I could sing for, I don't know, 2 days. And I was recording these improvisations, and then I was listening to it and choosing the ones that were the most corresponding with the text, because for me it was the most important that the music will underline the message in the song. Also, I must say that it's my first musical expression somehow related to politics. Until now, I was never really putting myself on any side as an artist. I came to Georgia 15 years ago, first time because of politics, and I was working in the conflict zones in politics and diplomacy. And then I quit all this politics world and switched to music, and I was always trying to keep myself far from politics, because I believe that I want to be an artist for everyone. regardless what views somebody has. This song is putting myself on some side, but still I think that the lyrics of this song is so human and so universal. It can be, actually, it's written for Ukrainians, but it could be written for many other nations that are suffering through the tragedy of the violent conflict anywhere in the world. Yeah, I'm very grateful that we could meet, and I hope it will not be only one song. And there are so many magic situations in all this our meeting and working together that I believe that that many good things are in front of us. And your support for us and your trust in our project was one of the biggest magic moments for us in our collaboration. I'm really grateful because this way this song will be heard by others.
I also want to thank you for inviting us to the interview and give us the opportunity to talk about our work together. I want to say that because of this song and your organization, I can pay for my study, and now I am studying on a master program in public health. And thanks to this song, I'm now getting my second higher education, and I'm very grateful and hope that we will continue to have good collaboration. And I wish you success and peaceful sky above your head.
Thank you so much for your kind words. And I think when a drive is there, the same way that you were talking about Mariam, that when you saw her, you saw all this creative energy. I believe that we saw that when we received seeing your project, and it's really a pleasure that we can support you and help make this song be heard all over Europe, all over the world. Thank you so much to you both for sharing all these beautiful stories, sharing your song with us. It was really a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to hear the song in the upcoming months. Thank you.